today the plan is to get some basic refined storage automation up and running. And to do that, I think the very first thing that we are going to need is a pattern terminal, which is this guy right here. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for us to make. We need a blank pattern, which is glass, redstone, and then quartz enriched iron. And if we're going to work with refined storage, I know for a fact that we're going to have to get quite a bit of quartz enriched iron going today. So I will go ahead and start smelting some of that up right away. I did also get some more bismuth brass going between streams as well. The bismuth brass, of course, is used for the making of machine casings. You need 4 per machine casing. And again, if we're going to be making multiple machines or multiple, pieces of equipment from refined storage, having all of that bismuth brass ready to go is going to be super useful. Now, one of the things that could be our limiting factor, chat, is tungsten. We have 6 tungsten ingots in our system, which is enough to make 1 machine frame. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that we do have 1 more piece of tungsten ore over in this digital miner chest. I have still been periodically emptying this out. Yeah, we have 1 right there. And I believe you are now almost done. He's not quite done. I will go ahead and move a few more stacks of this just out so it can keep running here. People have suggested as well that we should use all of this coal and run it through the Silent Mechanisms Crusher, because it has a less than 1% chance of getting a diamond, but that does mean that, once you process 100 coal, you might get 1 diamond. And given that we have maybe over 1,000 coal, or easily actually over 1,000 pieces of coal ore, the odds that we get, maybe 10 plus diamonds from what we have here is quite high. So it might not be a terrible idea at some point to look at trying to run all that coal through the crusher. That is going to get us a lot of coal that we do have to store somewhere, but I think for now, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to just run all of that coal through a crusher and then store all that, real coal that's not coal ore inside of like a bin from Mechanism. And then if we need it, just stick an external storage on there so that our system can access it. But for now, let's go and run basically all of these ores through our auto-blink system up here. And then let's also run the nether quartz through our enriching factory so that we can add to the nether quartz in here and hopefully start to get some quartz enriched iron. Is this, oh, it's refined iron. We do have a little bit of refined iron, but not really as much as I'd like. The refined iron isn't too hard, it's just iron and sand. So we definitely can get more of this. I do think that we're kind of getting to the point, chat, where maybe we should look at getting a second, maybe third, potentially even 4th alloy smelter to really speed things up. I did mention previously that if we are going to want to automate alloys, I think we do have to have 1 alloy smelter per auto-crafted recipe that we're going to want to use, simply due to the way that the alloy smelter works from Silent Mechanisms. But that's a bridge that we'll cross when we come to it. For now, let's see if we can't craft the old pattern grid here. So for this, we need glass, machine casing we should be able to do, block of quartz enriched iron, and machine casing is done. At that point, the only thing that we are missing here are the processes, of which we need 2 improved, 1 destruction, 1 construction, and then 1 advanced. Okay, so basically all of them, I think, at that point. So so I think we do have what it takes to make these. Well, we still got the binding, which is great. We've still got at least a little bit of silicon, I think. Yeah, we got 47, which is more than enough. So I'll grab 1 of you. And then after that, we need the cores. So that being the construction and destruction, both of which are made from the silicon processor. So if we just smelt all those up, chat, we should be pretty much good to go. The hardest part about getting these smelted is doing it while all of our other stuff is smelting. So once we have all of the processes and our cores here, we do need to make the 2 cores. We need to make the destruction core, and we also need to make the construction core, like so. At that point, we should have, I think, everything it takes to make the grid, and also, hopefully, everything it takes to make a pattern, and then finally, everything it takes to make the pattern grid. Nice. So essentially, for now, we'll put this guy down, I think, like right about there. And essentially, what we can do here is if we get a crafter, which again is very, very similar. And in fact, there's our tungsten limitation. And again, we can't double our tungsten, which is somewhat annoying. And the tungsten also cannot be smelted in a regular furnace. It has to be either done in a blast furnace or an electric furnace from Silent Mechanism. So we can't put it in the smelting factory, which is a little unfortunate. But thankfully, we do have an electric furnace from earlier that for now we can just put down maybe like right about here, just for our tungsten. We might, chat, have to do a little bit of, and I'm now realizing that I probably should have not smelted that tungsten, because I'm thinking what we might have to do is we might have to grab our digital miner and do a little bit of kind of bunny hopping around the world, putting the digital miner down, telling it to just find tungsten, you know, letting it do its thing, letting it scan the area, and then, you know, once it finds some tungsten, picking it up again and moving it. Because from my current experience with like the last 2 runs of the digital miner, it's really only found like 1, maybe 2 pieces of tungsten in like a 32 block radius around it. So I think we can basically put it down, let it scan for tungsten, which I'm hoping it'll find fairly quickly, you know, find 1 or 2 pieces, and then just pick it up, move it, do it again, and do that a few times until we have enough tungsten. I don't really think there's a better way for us to do this. We could, if we wanted to, look at the builder from RF Tools, which can go up to a huge like 512 by 512 radius. You know, set one of those up and just let it go. But the quarry card for that is a little more expensive, and especially if we want to get Silk Touch going, we have to get a Nether Star, which we currently don't have. So I think, essentially, chat, what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm going to go and grab basically all of the coal out of that digital miner. I'm going to let it finish its current cycle, but then I might look at moving it around, because I think we're going to need a lot more than 1 ingot's worth of tungsten nuggets in today's stream if we want to get some real automation up and running. Now, currently, we don't actually have the crusher, by the way, from Silent Mechanisms, that being this one right here, and unfortunately, the crushers are not interchangeable. It does have to be the one from Silent Mechanism if we want to get that chance of getting diamonds, which I definitely think we do. But right now, our diamond supply is pretty good, pretty healthy, but I think in general, just getting more diamonds is always good. So once we have this crusher here, let's grab, for now, I think just 2 hoppers will do just fine. And we're basically just going to run everything through here. So you know what? I will quickly move this furnace, and then we'll do like crusher. Not there. We'll do like crusher there, hopper, ideally on the top, like so. We can even put a chest there if we wanted to. And then I think I will go and make another mechanism bin for this coal, because otherwise it's just going to be too much to handle, right? And I might even go with an upgraded one, because I do think that we might fill up 4,096 quite quickly. We could even go 1 step further, but I think for now, 8,092 could be okay. If I'm not mistaken, much like other mechanism machines, I would assume you can upgrade the advanced bin and retain its inventory, like much like with the tanks. So I assume we can upgrade it and keep it full of coal if we need to in the future. So there we go. That should work, I think, for now. And basically, we're just going to put all of our coal into here. And yeah, we're definitely going to want to get some kind of chest. And you know what? I'll go ahead and just nab one of these gold ones for now that are currently not serving any other purpose. And just put all of our coal into here. Now, of course, the diamonds are going to like back up in here, but I think that's okay. I don't think that's going to matter too much. And I guess we might as well, chat, actually go make some more processing upgrades. I was going to take the ones out of the current alloy furnace, but I feel like at this point, we have so much plastic because we've been going around and getting so much oil that we can afford to make a few more processing upgrades just for everything. Nice. So I'll throw you like that. And that's going to make that nice and fast. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go check if our digital miner has any more tungsten. We can, of course, tell it like to scan for tungsten without having tungsten ore, but I think it's a lot easier to tell it to scan for tungsten if we have tungsten. If you know what I mean? Without tungsten, we have to type in the exact right wording. Like, I don't know what it's like, forge : ores / tungsten or something along those lines. When are you making a wireless chest so that we can see this stuff back at the base? That is a very good point. And in fact, I don't think the dimensional chest is that hard to make. Much like with the dimensional tanks, we can probably make these fairly easily. How many ender pearls do we currently have? We currently have 2 ender pearls. However, we do also, of course, have our friend upstairs who is very open and willing to trading me gold for, or trading me ender pearls in exchange for gold through the proxy of emeralds. So you know what? I will make one. I'll make a dimensional chest like right away here so we don't have to keep running back to our digital miner every time we want to see what's going on over there. So for this, we're going to need 2 dimensional chests. 1 back at home and 1 on the digital miner itself. And so we're actually going to need quite a few of these. It's going to take 4 ender pearls, which is all the ender pearls we have. And we need 2 more if we're going to get 2 more ender cores here. So I will have to, once again, dip into the glass supplies. Because the other commodity that the villager desires is, of course, glass bottles. And I should really stop doing it in here because it's a lot easier. Like, much easier to do it in here. Alright, so we pretty much have everything it takes now to make that ender core and to make these dimensional chests. We do, of course, have our blaze farm down here that's been working away. We've got 45 blaze rods, as well as quite a bit of essence in this tank here, which is very nice indeed, and will come in especially useful when we start auto crafting, hopefully later on in today's stream. For now, though, let's go ahead and craft you down, and then make some more of these eyes of ender. Throw both of those into our... Oh, we need 1 more dielectric casing, actually. Gosh, it's such a crafting tree. Doesn't help when you click the wrong buttons either. There we go. There we go. Over into our energizing orb. And we should hopefully fairly quickly get the 2 cores here. At which point we can then just wirelessly transfer, or at least wirelessly view all of the ores that are coming to our digital miner, instead of having to run over there every single time. Which for now isn't too big of a deal, but obviously as we move the digital miner further and further afield, we're going to want to be able to view what ores we're getting and to process what ores we're getting without having to run over there every time. So dimensional chest. Let's make 2 of you. From there, let's go ahead and make 2 of you. And from there, we should be able to turn those into 2 of you. Nice. So for now, we'll have one like right here. We'll probably move this in the future, but for now, we'll do this. We'll make sure to set the owner to me, the frequency to 5. You do have to click change. I know in the first stream that I did this, I was just like typing the number and then leaving. That doesn't work. You have to type in the number, then click change. Otherwise, you are just working with frequency 1. So, essentially, chat, all I want to do here is I want to get rid of this chest, which is going to spew ores everywhere. But then I'm going to put the dimensional chest in its place. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to put this down. I'm going to set it to me 5 change. Then we can pick it back up. And then put it back down. There we go. So now, if we put all of our ores into there, we should be able to view pretty much all of those from the other dimensional chest. So what I think I will do is I'll put everything that's like not coal into here, and we'll take all of the coal and put it in our new coal processing system, because we've got so much coal. Actually, so much coal. There we go. I'll leave a bit of coal in here, actually, just so I can get rid of this chest. All right, nice. But now, chat, boom, look at that. We can see all of the things that we have from our digital miner right here. Of course, when this fills up, there is going to be stuff inside the digital miner that we can't see. But in general, we can just take things out and use them over here, and then the stuff that's in the digital miner will be placed into this chest, which should make it quite a bit easier to view stuff going forward. Now, speaking of the digital miner, let me grab 3 more energy upgrades, because our digital miner is currently at 5 energy upgrades, and so if I can get like 3 more here, that'll take us up to the maximum 8, and I'm really hoping we can speed it up at least a little bit. Again, the numbers seem to fluctuate quite a bit. Right now, it's saying it needs 30 redstone flux per tick. So let's see. Right now, it says needed 29.99 FE. If I add 3 energy upgrades, what do we need now? Now it needs 155. I wonder if it was stalled in some way. But either way, I think we can put in maybe like 1 speed upgrade. Now we're at 276. And it is going a little bit faster, which is good. And oh, look at that. We got 2 tungsten ore. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So what I'm going to do, chat, I think, is I'm going to click stop, because I want to try something here. So let's reset. Let's configure. Let's remove forge coal on Oz for now. And then let's add a new filter for tungsten. And then now if we click start, that might work. It might also be done, though. It says to mine 0. So I wonder if that just means we've got all of the tungsten in this area. At that point, chat, what we want to do is we want to move about 32 blocks away from where we were before. So if I grab my X coordinates. We were at about X negative 210. So if we move to about X negative 274, because it is a 32 block radius, which means if we want to get maximum coverage, we want to go 64 blocks away. So if we go to negative 274, right about here, put this guy back down, reapply the power, make sure it's set to output there, and then do the same thing again. If we go configure, radius is still max, the Y levels are still the same, the filter is still there, and if we click start, hopefully that's going to mine 8 tungsten. Look at that. Guys, the digital miner is such a good tool. So already that's 10 tungsten ore, and then we can just do the same thing, right? We can move another 64 blocks in this direction. So instead of being negative 274, we can go to like around negative 230 or 330 even. So maybe right about here-ish. And of course, in the future, we can come back to these locations and put the digital miner back down to get all of the other ores that are here as well. But for now, I'm really just interested in getting this tungsten. You'll see some areas less tungsten than others. Like this one only had 3. But still, 3's not bad at all. Emeralds are a good check as well. I think emeralds only spawn. I mean, we could add it to the list because there's no real harm in not doing it. But at the same time, I think emeralds only spawn in mountainous biomes. If I'm not mistaken, like... yeah, just mountains. So I think we're not going to find any out here. What biome are we in? We're in a taiga biome. We got some emerald ore. Nice. Nice. I was not expecting to find any. And also, it does tell me the X coordinates under the minimap, so I don't have to keep pressing F3 now that I think about it. I was not aware that... am I pronouncing that right? Is it taiga? Taigia? 65? Oh, boys. Now we're cooking. We're going to have so many emeralds and ender pearls. For now, though, chat, we now have a grand total of 72 tungsten ore, which should be more than enough to get everything that we're after in today's stream, at least. And on top of that, we also have nearly 3 stacks of emerald ore, which is super nice. And so if we do a quick /home, we can begin smelting all of our tungsten ore in the old electric furnace, which, again, we are going to have to move. And I think for now, I'll put like maybe here and just run like a stack of tungsten ore through there. Again, we can't really do anything with the tungsten ore apart from just smelt it. There's no, processing method that we can use to get more tungsten out of it. And then as for our emerald ore, we can either run that through the same electric furnace, we could run it through the enrichment chamber to double our emeralds, or we could run it through the same crusher that we're using for our coal here to potentially triple our emeralds. We get 2 by default with that chance of getting 10% extra, which is real nice. So I think for now, I'll just go ahead and throw a stack in there, which is going to back the system up temporarily, but I think that's fine. All of the emeralds should just be like right there when they're done, which I think is fine. And we can, of course, use those emeralds to get more ender pearls as and when we need them. But for now, chat, we can finally pivot back to where I was at the start of today's stream, which was looking at actually getting some auto crafting up and running. So if we're going to get crafting going, we need quite a few crafters. So I think I might try and make maybe like 5 of these. That might be optimistic. Yeah, I was going to say, I doubt we have that much quartz enriched iron. However, the quartz enriched iron, thankfully, isn't too difficult for us to make. But essentially, I'm thinking for now, we can have maybe 1 or 2 crafters just for crafting general items, things that just are made in a crafter. And then potentially like 3 or 4 other crafters that are on machines, like an alloy smelter. I think the dissolution chamber is definitely something I want to automate. Because as I mentioned at the start of the stream, really what I want to get here is I want to get all of the things that are required to make more automation automated, right? So I want to automate, for example, all of those processes, right? So the golden processor, the diamond processor, the silicon processor, I want all of those automated. If we're going to automate those, we have to automate both silicon and processor binding. Silicon is easy enough. It requires silicon wafers and lava. But to do that, we need to get a dissolution chamber. We need to get... I don't know if you can automate these, honestly, because I don't think you can autocraft with the diamond saw. I could be wrong on that. But due to the way the diamond saw works, I don't know if you can autocraft these, because once it's been used its metadata changes. I don't know if that can then work. We might just have to batch craft the silicon wafers and then use them for auto-crafting silicon when they're needed. And then the process of binding should also be fairly easy. But again, we have to auto-craft it. We have the essence, we have the plastic, and we have the ability to make pink slime, but we need to teach our system how to make all of these things. So ideally, by the end of today's stream, we will have taught our system how to auto-craft the things required to teach it how to make other things. Because if we're going to complete this pack, if we're going to get the highest tier of solar panel, we need to do a lot of auto-crafting. This highest tier of solar panel has so many tiers to it and so many crafts required that we need to auto-craft a ton if we're going to get there. Use a crafter? Ooh, yeah, I guess we could use the crafters from RF Tools. Yeah, that could work for the silicon, right? So yeah, let's see if we can't craft 5 of these crafters here as like a starting off point. I think we should now have enough. I'll bookmark this as well, but I think we should now have enough bismuth brass and enough tungsten nuggets to work with this. We've got a whole stack of tungsten on us, so getting a lot of those nuggets should not be a problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fantastic. And then from there, we need even more quartz enriched iron, but we also need advanced processes, destruction cores, and construction cores. So again, if we're going to make 5 of these, that means I need 10 of these, at which point we are now out of the process of bindings. But thankfully, it really shouldn't be too hard for us to get even more of these. We are going to have to start by making more pink slime. But now that we have our automatic pink slime maker upstairs, all we have to do here is make sure we have glass, which I think we do have, but not really much of it. I will get more glass cooking. And of course, that's one of the things that I would like to teach our system how to make, so we don't have to manually make glass whenever we need it. We can just have it made by our system, which would be grand. But if we put some pink slime, which is currently up here, into our dissolution chamber, which I think is currently empty. It is. Like so. And then we stick in some glass panes. We'll throw them in the hopper for now. That's going to make us yet more actual pink slime balls. And then once that's done, and again, this thing is slower than I would like, but once we have, 10 of, or 3 of those even, I guess we could do with getting more pink slime. I think 3 buckets was the nice round number because it takes 300 millibuckets per craft. So 3 buckets nicely, it leaves the dissolution chamber empty when it's done. But after that, all we have to do is get some of the essence from downstairs, combine it with some of our plastic sheets, which we now have the ability to make a lot of, and we should be good to go. I think for now, chat, 96 bindings is going to be enough, so we can hold on to the rest of the pink slime and plastic that we have. So we needed, 10 of these processes, I think? Yeah, we need 10 of these. And then let me check this again. We need basically 10 of these as well, I think. Yeah, so we'll smelt all those up. And then I think that's basically it. We do have to craft it with some glowstone and some nether quartz, but I'm fairly certain we should have enough, at least nether quartz. I'm not quite sure actually how much glowstone we have. We have got 67, so yeah, that is actually going to be totally fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of you, and then 5 of you. Should get us, chat, 5 crafters, just so long as we put everything in the system. 1, 2, and then we do need a little bit more of the iron, which unfortunately we currently don't have because we don't have enough refined iron. So we'll throw some more, yet more sand and iron in there. Let that keep going. But we're pretty close. So at this point, chat, I think we have to start looking, especially if we want to automate things like the process of binding and things like the silicon. I think at this point we have to start looking at external storage, because a lot of the items and fluids required for those crafts are currently not in our system, right? Things like the pink slime and the essence are currently available to us, but they're not available to the refined storage system. And thankfully, in refined storage, the external storages can be used for both items or fluids. So I think we want to get at least one of those for the essence and the pink slime. In an ideal world, I'd also have one on every single one of these as well, so we can access those from the system, especially when we're going to teach our system how to make refined iron, for example, that needs to use that sand. But I think for now, 2 might be enough. I'm just thinking if we need anything else for some of these recipes. But I don't think we do. We might need one on the coal. Yeah, I guess if we're going to automate silicon, we need one on the coal and one on the basic bin there. I do think, chat, what I'm probably going to do over here is move all of these bins downstairs into this room, you know, with all of the strainers in it, which do need to be refilled at some point. But I think I'll move all of those like just over here for now. Put external storages on those so they're still accessible from the system. And I think I'm going to use this wall as a wall for the machines that are part of our auto crafting setup, right? So right now we have this, you know, we have a few machines like our smelting factory, but that's currently part of like our order link system. I think we'll make another smelting factory that we put over on this wall that we use with a crafter, so we can teach our system how to smelt with that smelting factory. So yeah, let me go ahead and move some of these basic bins here, and then we'll look at making really as many external storages as we can. Like that. That also looks a little nicer on the front side as well. And if we really wanted to, I think we do connect these up, right? Like these are both extraction. On your retrieval. Your extraction. Okay, I see. Like that. And I have had people asking me to move the tier 3 crafter here. However, I don't think I'm going to do that right now because I have to reset up all the crafts again. So I think for now I'm just going to leave it like this. But that does free up some space for this this top like line of machines over here. And thankfully we do have power already going to our crafter, so getting power up to any machines that we put here shouldn't be too difficult. So let's see, external storage. Let's see if we can't make a few of these. Again, ideally maybe like 5 or 6 would be nice. So we need cores and processors, which again means we need like 10 of these. Which really I don't think is going to be a problem now. We had like 96 binding, and we do still have at least a little bit of silicon. We got 14 left. So yeah, that should be actually fine, chat. Just smelt all those up. Yeah, and then really at that point, it's just more quartz enriched iron, which I think we can make fairly easily. I think you can, chat, put in like 2 stacks of each of these like that. And I think it only makes one at a time still. But I think it does still work in that it doesn't like stop working. I think for now I will move one of these speed upgrades over. Like that, just to make our refined iron a little faster. So we're getting more quartz enriched iron here, chat. And I think we should now have what it takes to make like 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then from there, we do need quite a few chests. We need 10. Thankfully, our wood is doing all right for now. We're doing some cable as well, which I don't think we currently have. But then 1, 2... Oh, what are we out of? We're out of course, the iron that we have on us, the quartz-enriched iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to hold off on the 5th one for a moment. Because for now, I'm thinking we want one probably on our coal. If we're going to automate the creation of the silicon balls. We want one on our essence over here. Which... I'm not quite sure where we're going to have the cable come down. It'll probably come down on this side maybe, so I'll put it like here for now. Although that does prevent me getting in there, so in fact, maybe I'll put it on the front. We can always move it if needs be. We also want to have one on our pink slime, which is up here. There are ones that need the liquid meat, right? I don't know if there are any... Yeah, but that's only for making more mechanical dirt, which I don't really think we need to automate. Like, having it wouldn't be, terrible, but I don't think it needs automating. This is going to get backed up now because we don't have anywhere to put the liquid meat. So, honestly, chat, I don't really think we need the liquid meat at this point. We can probably take the 54, is it? 56 buckets that we have, and we can... Oh, we do need it for the spawner, though, right? I was going to say we could just delete it, like we could put a fluid trash can here. But unfortunately, we're in a situation where we need some of it for the mechanical dirt. But we want to delete the excess. Okay, so I'm being told by the Twitch chat that if we get a meat feeder, we can be auto-fed meat. Or auto-fed, I assume it's meat. Which I would be very happy about. Presumably this does need to be filled with liquid meat. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, it can hold 128 millibuckets of meat. So just having this, I assume, maybe just on us, is going to keep us full on hunger. So right now it's at 52,800. If I do some running, and wear out some of my... Apologies. If I wear out some of my hunger, let's see if it goes down. It totally works. So we just lost some health there, and then it just pulled the liquid meat out of the meat feeder to regen our health. That is actually fantastic, chat, and solves our liquid meat problem, essentially allowing us to just pull all of the liquid meat that we want, you know, out of here. There we go. I don't want to take all of it, because we do need to have some still in there so the system keeps making more mobs. But for the time being, we don't have to worry about carrying these potatoes on us anymore, which is very nice indeed. Get rid of those. We just have to make sure we keep this on us, which is not going to be a problem, I don't think. So where were we, chat? Oh yeah, of course, we were still putting down all of the... we were connecting up all of the external storage. We should already have coal and sand connected. We do, so now we can access all of the coal and all of the sand from within our system, which is very nice indeed. All we need to do now is actually hook up the essence and the pink slime. So we do now have everything connected up. We have our essence going up through the wall there, and we also have our pink slime that is it's connected through the floor, so it connects up through there. We currently can't see the pink slime and the essence in the system. For that, we would have to get a fluid grid, one of these right here, which I don't really think is necessary right now. We don't really need to be able to access the fluids remotely. We just need the system to be able to use them, which they currently can do. I have forgotten that we do have to set these to fluid mode. So in here, there's a type. We want it set to fluid, and we need to do the same thing with our essence as well. It defaults to item, so make sure you change it to fluid if you wanted to actually use those fluids. And then now, I think we can potentially look at doing some auto crafting. So let's grab the old dissolution chamber, and let's make it like the first machine that we try auto crafting with. So I'm going to put him over here. We can move the anvil, I guess, for now. I think we'll probably also, like over here, everything's forward by 1 to put power on the back. I don't know if that's strictly necessary. Although I guess it does give us a bit more room to maybe put more machines down. So you know what? Sure. Let's put this guy like down here for now. And then let's put the crafter like that on top. So if we want to teach our dissolution chamber how to make, for example, let's say the wafers into silicon, because that seems like it's going to be the easiest one to start with, because it works quite well. For this, we need to teach we actually need to get lava, which we currently don't have. Okay, so lava is currently one of the items that we're missing. And I think if we're going to get lava, chat, we need an entangloporter. And by that, I mean we need 2 entangloporters. One for the nether and one for the overworld. So we can go to the nether, put down the entangloporter, put down a pump the lava into the entangloporter, and then have another entangloporter in our base that's connected to a basic fluid tank with an external storage to give our system access to lava. All right, so if we're going to make 2 quantum entangloporters, we need quite a lot of obsidian. We also need at least 2 more of these ender cores, which shouldn't be too difficult. Right now we are out of ender pearls, but we did get a ton of emeralds earlier in the stream. So going and getting some more ender pearls should just be as simple as talking to this guy over here. There we go, 12 ender pearls. Fantastic. And of course, at that point, we just need 2 more of that dielectric casing and 2 more of the old capacitors, which again, we should already have now. Beautiful. So yeah, let's get those cooking up. I don't think these are going to be too difficult. They might be a little, they might take a while to craft because there's a few steps involved. But in terms of actually making them, I think we do have everything it takes. So we need 4 ultimate control circuits, which means we need 4 elite circuits. So let's see if I can make 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I don't think we have 8 of these. No, we don't. We're close, though. We're close. And getting more of them is fairly easy. You know what? I'm going to make a few of these. I was going to get 1 diamond worth, but I think I'll get 2. We do have 109 infused alloy, so we should be able to fairly easily make 16 of these. Like that. This guy is done. Let's go and do another one. Boom, boom, boom. At that point, I think we're pretty much there on the teleportation cores. Oh, no, we need yet more atomic alloys. So we need, what? Each one requires 2, 4, 6, 8 atomic alloys. And we need 2 of them. So we need 16 atomic alloys, which means we need 16 reinforced alloys. We do have 16 reinforced alloys right here, but that's 16 reinforced alloys on top of the ones that we need for the elite control circuits. So I think we need at least one more. Can you put multiple recipes in the energizing orb? I do not believe so, no. Again, it's one of those things where when we autocraft it, we are going to have to autocraft in such a way that we only send the right amount of items. Because even if you try and put in, like, for example, energizing steel is something we need to make. This is 1 steel and 1 electrum mix to energize steel. Even if you try and put like 20 or 2 steel and 2 electrum in, it just won't work. You have to put in the exact right items and then take out the byproduct and then put the next set in. So, you know, it's going to be a little janky to set that up, but thankfully you can work with comparators and whatnot to make that work, or we could work with XNet. I think either would get the job done there. For now, though, that should be enough reinforced alloy, I think. How much obsidian do we have? We have got 14 obsidian, but then we also already have some reinforced obsidian dust. So we basically need, we'll start with, first of all, let me finish making 1 more of those. So now we have 4 of the elite control circuits. We do indeed, which should be all of the elite control circuits required to make the 4 ultimate control circuits. So now let's look at making that 16 atomic alloy. So for that, we need 2 enriched iron, which is just obsidian dust and diamond. Obsidian dust is obsidian in the old crusher there. So we'll take 2 obsidian and 1 diamond and enrich all of that. And then run all of that through over here. Beautiful. And then we're going to enrich that again. Yes. But this time I think we only have to enrich we need to enrich 2, right? Because we need 16. So then we put you back in here again, and then put all of these in. And I think at that point we have all of the atomic alloys. Like I said before, not a super difficult recipe. We actually already have everything it takes there. And then at that point, chat, I think we're basically done. We should be able to make 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We should be able to, we are going to have to work on the refined obsidian ingots, but those are just refined obsidian with osmium. We have the refined obsidian, and we have the osmium, and we also have the osmium injector, is it? The compressor, even. We need 4. I'll just put a stack of osmium in there. That should be enough to get that going. Let's make the 2 cores. Like so. And at that point, chat, I think we're basically there. Yeah, we just need... Oh, we need 8 of these, don't we? Okay, so I need a little bit more obsidian. 1 more block should do it. I'll do 2 blocks, though, because 2 blocks crafts nicely into 1 diamond. Alright, so that should be everything it takes to make 2 entangloporters. At which point, for now, I think I'll put 1 down, maybe like right here. I might even put it... Okay, for now this is fine, we'll put it like right here. Eventually, I think we'll probably end up using these for all of our wireless transferring. Like right now we're using... this guy down here, the old dimensional cell, to transfer our power. But I believe the entangloporters can transfer items, fluids, and power, like all at once. So I think we definitely can replace this guy at some point in the future. For now, though, let me grab this tank. We're going to put the tank like over here. We're going to craft up another external storage, which thankfully we do already have what it takes to make. And we're going to stick this guy like right here. And of course set that to fluids. So this is going to be lava. We do need another pump from mechanism. Oh, and actually, the pump does require power, of course, right? So we are going to have to use this entangloporter to bring lava back from the nether, but also to send power to the nether. So we do need to run cable over to it. At which point, I'm kind of thinking it might be worth putting it a little further back. Although I guess we could also just run universal cable over to it. Obviously, we don't want to we don't want to open the sky like that, but I think we are. Oh no, it's a little close here, chat. It's a little close to the outside world. Temporarily, we'll do something like this just to see if we can get this going. We do have, I think, some cooked basalt inside, so I'm fairly certain that I can cover that up. Hopefully, otherwise it's a bit of a kind of ruins the whole volcano aesthetic, doesn't it? If we don't cover that up. Yeah, we do have some cooked, pre-done basalt here, so we can kind of cover some of this back up and make it look a little less terrible, even though it does still look a little janky. But that should be fine. So now this guy should be able to send power. So I've actually not used these before. Frequency. Let's set it to frequency 100. So GamingOnCaffeine, frequency 100 is private. Oh no, okay, let me delete this one. So we'll go private. Can I name it? Or does it have to be a number? Oh, no, I can name it. Okay, so the frequency is GamingOnCaffeine, which is me, and it's private. That's all good. Config-wise, I want this guy, I basically want... So you have items, you have fluids, you have gases, you have energy, and you have heat. You can transfer all of those through this. So for energy, we want all of these sides to be set to input, because this guy is basically just pulling energy in. And you can see right there, he's starting to hold energy. He can hold up to 51 million redstone flux, which is quite a lot. But that's fine. We're generating it wirelessly, so that's okay. And it can also accept anchor upgrades, which is the huge plus here. Because the fact that this guy can accept anchor upgrades, we do need more ender cores, of course we do. But the fact that it can accept anchor upgrades means that we can keep both the pump in the nether online and also our base online. So all parts of the system should remain chunk loaded as long as we have anchor upgrades in there. We also want to make sure that fluids are set to export at the top here. And then we can set the rest to off for now. So any lava that comes in here should go out to the top. We do want to make sure as well that auto eject is on. So any lava that comes into this one should end up on the top there. So now, chat, I think all we have to do is take our pump, our entangloporter, and some basic universal cable through into the nether. We could take a buffer tank if we wanted to, but I think we can honestly just put the quantum entangloporter directly on top of the pump. And I think we should be good to go. We do want to go and get an anchor upgrade. That's a fair point, actually. You know what? I think what I can do, though, is I think I can go and put this down. Use the /home command and then the /back command to get back quickly. So for now, we'll put this down and I'll go get the anchor upgrade in just a second, chat. I think we'll put it down over by this nether fortress. Because we have this lovely large pool of lava. And I think, how's my jetpack juice doing? It's doing all right. I think we could put it down over here somewhere. The soul sand is less than ideal, but I think it's not going to be a huge issue for us. For example, if we just do this, and then we get rid of this, we can have the quantum entangloporter on the top. We can have the basic universal cable doing something like that. And then at that point, chat, if we go to private, GamingOnCaffeine, set, hopefully, we can then pull, look at that, the power is there. We want to make sure the power is set to output on, I think, basically all sides. Like that. So hopefully... And auto eject on. There we go. Okay, I didn't think you might need it for power, but apparently you do. So that should start sucking up the lava. And putting it up here. As long as we set, again, the bottom into an input for fluids, which it already is. And I think that lava should be being sent back. So if we do a quick /home... we should be able to see lava in there. We can indeed. Fantastic. Look at that. It's filled up right away. But we don't currently have an anchor upgrade in either of these, but we were in the process of making the 2 anchor upgrades, which is why I have this ender core in my energizer. But if we make 2 of those, the system should work just fine. And we should be able to send power to the nether wirelessly and bring lava back from the nether wirelessly as well, which is going to be perfect for making these silicon. So this doesn't actually look too bad whatsoever. We'll put one of these into you. Again, I think this one's less necessary. And then if we do slash back, we should be able to fairly easily also put one of these in you. Nice. I will also go ahead and quickly claim these chunks as well. And yeah, I think we're good to go. So now if we do slash home again, we should have all of the lava that we need, at least for the foreseeable future, available in this tank. Of course, right now we could do with maybe a bigger tank. You'll see that lava is going to start to back up inside that quantum entangloporter, but I think that's fine. I don't know how much you can hold, but if we just have 14 buckets worth here and then, 500 buckets worth in here, that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. So now, chat, if we want to teach our system how to make silicon, the process by which you do this is a little janky, but I believe I know how it works. So let's make a pattern, and let's go into the pattern grid. So because this requires both a fluid and an items, in this case it requires silicon wafers and lava. Currently our system doesn't know how to make silicon wafers, but we do already have some, and we will try and teach you how to make them in just a minute here. But essentially we're going to go to processing, and we're going to tell it that it needs to put in one wafer. And then if you want to tell it to also put in fluids, what you have to do is you have to click the type button here. That switches you over to fluids. And then at that point, you can grab, for example, a bucket, which I will quickly craft a new one of. Get a bucket of lava. Head back into here. Put the bucket of lava in, at which point it will say lava 1 bucket. At that point, you can then left click and toggle this down, because for this, we only need 100 millibuckets of lava. So we're going to go right down to 100 millibuckets and click set. Now, despite the fact that these are on different pages, these are still both included, at which point we can then put in a pattern. We can tell it that that is going to make 1 silicon. You do need to be in item mode to put that in, create, and then over here, that does now know that it takes 1 silicon wafer and 0.1 buckets of lava to make 1 silicon. So if we connect that up with some cabling, we should be good to go. And I think, in the interest of some semblance of wire cleanliness, I will run this underground. Like that. And at that point, our system, I think, should just know how to turn lava and wafers into silicon. So now over here, we should be able to go ahead and click craft. Let's say we click 10 and click start. It's going to use 1 bucket worth of lava. It's going to let's use a different one. Let's go on like 12, because that requires like not a solid number of buckets. It requires 1.2 buckets, 12 wafers, and makes 12 silicon. That should work. The thing that's going to stop it now is the lack of power, for one, and the lack of an input bus. Now, the lack of lava there is somewhat disconcerting. Oh, I might have to set the input to the top. Oh, the top is already set to input. Or like enable as an input. Let me get some power over to this guy. And we are going to have to make an import bus if we want to actually run, like pull the resulting silicon out. But other than that, we are almost there. It's getting a little janky cable-wise down here. I think I'll move this to like there, so I can run cables up here. Like that. And then for now, we'll just put a cable there. Oh yeah, no, that is working. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. It's getting its job done. It's going to mess up one of them because I take one of the silicon out. But it is making silicon. And to finish that off, we just need an importer. Which, of course, we don't have what it takes to make. But, well, we do have what it takes to make. But it just is going to take us a second to actually craft up this golden processor. At which point, we can craft one of you. We can put that down, basically, I think, just like right here. should work just fine. That's going to import the silicon. Let's make sure we put that last wafer in there so it can actually finish it up. And at that point, chat, we should now have 10 silicon in the system. We do. Well, we have 10 more than we had before. Again, if we go and request like another 5, click start, boom, it's going to start making them one at a time. And once it's done, we should have 5 silicon in the system. Nice. There we go. Perfect. So that is essentially the plan for all of our crafts. We can actually do the exact same thing here with the bindings now as well, I think. So if we clear this on both fronts, the binding requires pink slime, plastic sheets, and essence. The trouble with this one, actually, let's do pink slime. Pink slime's an easy one to do. So this one does require that our system knows how to make glass panes. So we can teach our system how to make regular crafts just by putting these crafters down. For now, I'll put this guy like right here. But for simple crafts, it's much, much easier. Let's make a few blank patterns. And again, where did I move all of our glass? No, but we do have more in there. Let's do at least a few more of these. And then over here, we can teach our system that 6 glass panes. Oh, 6 glass. No, please. Over here, we want to go back to, we'll put in our pattern. We want to go back to not processing mode. And we want to teach it that 6 glass equals 16 glass panes in code. We can then just throw that in the crafter over here. And now that knows how to craft that, it will just make them when it needs to. And on top of that, now what we can do is we can go, again, back into processing mode. We can put our bucket of lava back. I'm hoping I can put it in here, maybe. I don't know if I can. No, maybe not. That's fine. Let's get another bucket. Let's go grab the server. It's breaking, man. Or maybe I could put it in there. Maybe it did work. Either way. Let's go grab a bucket of pink slime. And we can essentially do the exact same thing that we just did with the silicon with the pink slime balls. So we can say that fluids, you want pink slime, you want 300 millibuckets set. And then in terms of items, you want 1 glass pane set. And then that is going to get you 1 pink slime ball in code. And this works well on 2 fronts, because now we don't have to put in, because the refined storage system can put in a precise amount of pink slime, we don't have to put in like a full bucket's worth and do 10 at a time. We can just request the 1, and it should work just fine. So again, if we go ahead, and even if we go ahead and take out the glass panes here, so there are no glass panes in there, what should happen when we request pink slime is it should go ahead and craft 16 glass panes. It only needs the 1, but it's going to craft 16 because that's the minimum. And then it's going to put 300 millibuckets of pink slime, as well as 1 glass pane, into the machine, and get us 1 pink slime. Nice. It does take a while, but it gets the job done. Now, we would want to do the same thing with the processor binding, but this one is going to be a little trickier because the system kind of breaks a little bit with the 2 items here. You saw it earlier in the stream where if you put like a hopper down, sometimes it puts in like too many items and doesn't work. So we are going to have to do some tinkering, potentially with XNet, or potentially with some other mods as well, to try and get this to work with the binding. But the basic like fundamentals of autocrafting are there. And for example, if we wanted to, we could go and we could teach our system how to make the uncooked version of each of the processes here. So over in here, we can go back to non-processing. We can teach it that a processor binding, 1 iron ingot, 1 silicon, 1 redstone equals a raw basic processor. And then throw that in like so. And of course, we'd also want to teach it how to smelt those, but for that we'd need another furnace over here. And so I think in the next stream chat, what we'll do is we'll make a few more, like some of these machines can be moved. For example, like our alloy smelter can be moved and can be used to auto smelt, certain items or auto craft certain items. Our advanced smelting factory is kind of part of our ordering system. So for right now, I don't want to move that, but we can make another one fairly easily. The same is true for our infusing factory. We can probably move that over and use that to auto craft some of the, alloys and circuit boards that we need going forward. So eventually we'll have like a whole line of machines here, maybe with a few more on the back as well, all with crafters on them, all able to auto craft different parts of recipes. And then at that point, we can actually start looking at auto crafting the first 2 tiers of solar panel, completing these quests, and then basically continue on and try and autocraft all the way up to the ultimate solar panel, which is right up at the top. This guy right here. We just need to autocraft every single part of the process all the way up here, which does involve setting up some more systems like HDPE, and we also have to set up like a mechanism reactor at some point. We do have to set up quite a few, at least 2, I think, of the evaporation towers as well, which are from mechanism if you've seen those before in the past. But for now, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there.